Hey guys! I know I usually start with a disclaimer for my videos, but this is a seasonal event, so it's going to change year to year regardless. The 2023 Halloween event is finally here, and I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know to get the most out of this year's event. There's quite a few things that have been drastically changed for this year's event, and it's completely different from previous years. As always, we have some new decorative items, a special event map, brand new legendary spawns, and much more. Before we start though, I just want to make a quick PSA. You've probably heard mods and other players reminding you to turn on two-step authentication. I seriously recommend turning it on as it's necessary for keeping your account away from hackers and other people that might try to get access to it. If you're not sure if you have two-step authentication on or if you want to enable it, you can turn it on by heading to Profile and Two-Step Authentication. Again, I seriously cannot stress enough how important it is to have this on. With that small tangent over, I'm super excited for this year's event, so let's get straight into it. By the way, I'll be streaming the event on my YouTube channel over the next couple weeks, so feel free to come pop into chat if you want to. The Halloween event starts on October 18th and will end on November 8th. This gives you around 3 weeks to enjoy all of the new content that's offered from the event. As with all of the other events, the Halloween event has an exclusive event map that goes along with it. Here's where things start to slightly deviate from previous events. In order to access the Halloween map, you must defeat all 8 Kanto gyms and get all 8 badges. You don't have to beat the Elite Four, you just need the badges. Most people who are playing are probably done with Kanto anyways, so I don't think this will affect much. To access the event map, head to any Pokemon Center or Elite Four lobby and talk to the witch to get taken to the event map. You also have the ability to check out a shop, but we'll touch on that in just a moment. Once you've loaded in, you'll see that you're in a corn maze. You have to get through this to be able to head to the areas where you can find wild Pokemon. It's not too difficult to navigate by yourself. If you just run around a little bit, you'll probably get it. But just because some people don't want to deal with it, I'm showing you the path right now. Just follow where I'm going and you'll reach the end. Once you reach the end of the corn maze, you'll be put in the haunted forest. Here you can encounter Pokemon that can drop brains, as well as 2 new exclusive decorative items. You're also able to encounter special Halloween-themed Pokemon which have different sprites. These have a 5% chance of showing up, and most Pokemon have an alternate sprite. There's a few Pokemon that don't have special sprites because they've only recently been added to the Halloween maps. They can still have the text next to their name, just not a sprite. Not yet, at least. Before you do anything in this event, I recommend going to pick up the free decorative item from the event gym. This year, it's the Hoopa Horns. They're exclusive to this year, and you won't be able to ever get them again. It's a bit weird getting to the gym since you have to go through so many areas, and it can sometimes be a little difficult to navigate between trees, so I'll be showing you how to get there. Start from the haunted forest and head down and left to head to the area with the haunted mansion. Skip the mansion for now, don't worry, we'll be back later, and head to this little grass patch. It looks like you can't go through the trees here, but trust me, you can. Then navigate this small path which will take you to Haunted Cave. Just head across the pool of water and keep going straight up to get to the next area. This last area is not that hard, just keep heading up and you'll reach the gym in Fright Town. The trainers and leader of this gym will have Pokemon that scale with your team's average level with maybe 1 or 2 levels difference. So you don't need to worry about being under-leveled or over-leveled. For example, my team of all level 100s had the gym leader's Pokemon at around level 99. The gym leader here has 6 Pokemon consisting of a Hydreigon, Dusknoir, Chandelure, Yveltal, Giratina, and Darkrai. All of them are shiny, of course. That might seem intimidating, but remember, they scale with your team's level. Once you defeat the gym leader, actually, pause for a second. I'm assuming this is a bug, but I got the horns after defeating a random trainer instead of the gym leader. Is that supposed to be intended? Also, the gym is, a little bugged right now. This will all probably be fixed by the time this video comes out, but regardless, if you defeat the gym leader, you'll receive the Hoopa Horns. Again, they're an exclusive decorative item and it's free, so I highly recommend picking them up while you have the chance. However, it's not necessary for you to get them. As with every event, there's an exclusive event legendary that can be encountered in a specific section of the map. However, this year, it's been changed. But not in the way you think. This year, instead of having one legendary available, you have the choice of hunting 3 different legendaries. Yveltal will still remain as a Halloween exclusive legendary and can be encountered on the first floor of the Haunted Mansion, which is accessible to everyone. That's not going to change, so everyone still has access to one of the best legendaries in the entire game. But notice how I only mentioned the first floor of the mansion. That's because the second floor of the mansion is going to include a different legendary along with some other changes. To access the second floor of the Haunted Mansion, you need to have 400 Pokemon registered as caught in your Pokedex. The second floor has had a pretty drastic spawn change, mostly in the very rares and extremely rares. But the biggest change is the addition of Darkrai as a legendary spawn. Additionally, there's a 1 in 50,000 base drop chance for a Hounduminite to drop from any wild Pokemon on the second floor of the Haunted Mansion. So if you want to try and pick up this Megastone, you have the option of getting it here. To get to the Haunted Mansion, head to the second area of the Haunted Forest by heading down and then left. The mansion is literally in the middle of the map, so you can't miss it. You can take the stairs up on the left to get to the second floor. One area that was kinda underutilized in previous variations of the Halloween event was the Haunted Cave. I mean, sure, you had the pool of water and Pawniard there, but that was it. But now they've completely reworked the entire bottom floor. To access B1 of Haunted Cave, you need to have a whopping 600 Pokemon registered as caught in your Pokedex. Just like the second floor of the Haunted Mansion, this area has had a complete encounter table rework, including some really busted extremely rare spawns. However, the most important change probably in this entire event is the addition of Giratina to the spawn set. Remember my legendary guide when I said the only way to get Giratina was from a world boss egg? Well, now players can actually go out and hunt it during this event, which makes it another event exclusive legendary. Although the amount of people actually going to be hunting a Giratina is pretty slim, seeing as you need 600 Pokemon caught in your Pokedex to even enter the area. This still makes Giratina a lot more rare than other legendaries, however, it's not impossibly hard to get like it was before. By the way, it's still not going to have access to its origin form if anyone was curious. On top of that, Pokemon in Haunted Cave B1 now have a 1 in 50,000 chance to drop an Absolite. To get to Haunted Cave B1, head to the back of Haunted Cave and surf across this pool of water here on the right. Afterwards, just keep going down and then take the ladder. All 3 of these legendaries will have the event legendary encounter rate of 1 in 100,000 or 1 in 66,000 with gold membership. Be sure to take a Shedinja to fully wall Yveltal, just make sure you don't attack it since it has Sucker Punch. If you decide to hunt Darkrai, take a Pokemon with Insomnia or Vital Spirit to wall it. Take a Chansey or a Blissey to wall Giratina. Also, don't forget that you can refresh your game to reset wild Pokemon PP so your legendaries don't struggle to death. For Darkrai and Yveltal, go check out my legendary guide that I did for more information such as best natures and movesets. Regardless of where you grind though, every Pokemon on the event map has a chance to drop brains when defeated. This is the exclusive event currency. You'll know when you got a brain to drop when you see this message in chat. You can exchange brains at the Witch for items such as TMs and ability capsules. You can also get trick or treat bags, which are basically mystery boxes with no jackpot prize. They can include things such as different types of Pokeballs, vitamins and EV and IV resets, potions and revives, GM tickets, and rare items such as world blessings, ability caps, and item bombs. You're also able to buy a pumpkin costume for 150 brains. This is also another exclusive decorative item. They're also planning to add another new decorative item to the event shop in a few days. There's not really a best thing to buy, so just spend your brains on whatever you want. Like all of the other events, there are Pokemon that are exclusive to the event map, so I would try to get your hands on them while you have the chance. Obviously, Yveltal and Giratina are the exclusive legendaries and can be found in the Haunted Mansion and Haunted Cave respectively. However, all of the other exclusive Pokemon can be found in other areas. You can encounter Phantump, Pumpkaboo, Yamask, and Joltik as rares, and Noibat as an extremely rare, which are all exclusive to the Halloween event. Other Pokemon like Litwick, Spiritomb, and Rotom are here too, however they're not exclusive to the event. For anyone new to the game, I highly recommend picking up a Joltik while you're here, as it's great for setting up sticky webs and it's just a great electric type in general. During this event, there will be a 2x shiny weekend starting on October 20th at 4 PM server time and will end on October 23rd at 4 PM server time. This means that shiny rates will be doubled for all encounters during that weekend. This also includes Pokemon rolled from shops, rolled from eggs, and rolled mounts from the credit shop. There will also be a double legendary and a double brain drop rate weekend starting on November 3rd at 4 PM server time and will end on November 6th at 4 PM server time. Now let's talk decorative items. Event decos are a staple of events, and for this year's event, we've got a pretty large amount that players can get their hands on. Here's every decorative item and mount that you can get during this event. First, there's obviously the free Hoopa horns that you can get by defeating the gym. Then you have the decorative items that are in the event shop for 50 brains and 150 brains respectively. Then there's the credit shop's decorative items and mounts, which you can get by donating to the game and receiving credits. The highlights for me personally are the Lunala wings and the Jellicent mount. And lastly, while grinding in the event maps, there's a 1 in 10,000 chance that a wild Pokemon will drop one of 2 special decorative items exclusive to this event. These are the Mismagius cloak and the Mismagius hat. Personally, I really like both of these and I really hope I get one of them to drop. There will also be exclusive decorative items and mounts being auctioned off every day. These include the Alien Mask, Devil Onesie, Drifblim Hot Air Balloon, and the shiny Drifblim Hot Air Balloon. Event auctions have been slightly tweaked as well. Instead of there being 1 of each type of decorative item auctioned off every day, there will now be 4 of each type. One other thing I would like to cover are instances. Essentially, every map will have a player cap of 25 players. After hitting 25 players, a new instance of that map will be created and more people can play. Think of it like copying a room where it's the same room but with different players. If you're trying to get on a specific instance, let's say if you're trying to play with a friend, you can just keep going in and out of loading zones until you reach the instance you want. There's a couple more things that I'll quickly go over as they're pretty much standard for all events. Experience has been boosted globally by 50%, which includes fishing and mining experience. This boost also stacks with other boosts such as Altar Blessings. If you're trying to level up your Pokemon, I highly recommend grinding on the event map as wild Pokemon scale with your level. However, it caps out at level 83. Events are usually one of the best ways to power level your Pokemon. Treasure chests are also going to be spawning more frequently. And finally, credit donations have been given a bonus 10% boost during the event, so if you're planning to buy credits, I would do it now. With everything covered, that leaves one last question. What should I do? Well, it really depends, so I'm going to split players up into 2 categories. Players under level 80 and players above level 80. I chose level 80 as I feel players are pretty comfortable dealing with legendaries at this level. For those of you that are under level 80, I recommend grinding pretty much anywhere except for the Haunted Mansion. Grinding on the event map will net you a lot of experience and will level up your Pokemon extremely fast without the threat of accidentally encountering an Yveltal and dying to it because you're under leveled. Although to be fair, as long as you're carrying a Shedinja on your team, you shouldn't have a problem blowing Yveltal if you find one, so just be careful if you do decide to go grind in the mansion. If you're over level 80, I of course recommend grinding in the Haunted Mansion. If you end up finding and catching Yveltal, you've now got one of the best legendaries in the game on your team. Even if you don't end up finding a legendary, you can exploit the honey that's almost always put down for an encounter rate boost. If you have 600 Pokemon caught in your Pokedex, go hunt Giratina. And that's everything you need to know about this year's event. Be sure to check out the official Pokemon Planet Discord server to know if anything has changed during the event. I hope this video was at least a little helpful. Thank you all so much for watching, good luck in the event, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.